Hey guys, welcome to another awesome Blender tutorial. It is getting exciting, so subscribe to Active TV right now. Hit that subscribe button and hit the bell button next to that because you don't want to miss what's coming up in Blender. If you're planning on becoming a 3D artist, a professional 3D artist, well, you want to subscribe because I'm going all the way, baby. We've learned about interface, how the Blender interface. We've learned about extrusion. We've learned about vertices, edges, and faces. And we've also learned about texture, about shading, right? Applying shaders, and about the principal shader, and if it's a metal or if it's a dielectric, or whether it needs to be glass or transparent. And on top of that, I've also taught you guys how to add textures and how to get a texture off the internet, a high quality texture, and then wrap it around onto your model as well. And I just want to do two more modeling. I want to model 2 more objects for you, and then we are going to then start touching on simulations. I've already started simulating certain things, so let me just quickly show you what I'm playing around with at the moment. Alright, I have not done this tutorial yet. I'm still in progress of it, and I've baked this, but have a look at this. So this is basically fluids simulation. Alright, I've baked this. That's how I'm able to record my screen and at the same time play this back. And Blender has calculated all of this. Alright, let's just quickly, I can select my mesh. I can smooth it just so it looks a bit more better. There you go. And now we're playing back, and this is the liquid simulation, right? I put all of these down. So these are the simulations that I'm busy working on at the moment. That is basically where we are on our way to, which I've promised is we are going to be modeling. Let me show you. We are going to be modeling this guy over here. All right. And basically this is one of my kids' toys. Now I'm used to hard surface modeling. All right, those are items that look a lot like metal objects, hard surfaces, etc. And I don't know if this classifies as like sort of more soft sort of surface. It's a plastic surface. It looks plasticky, got a lot of curves and stuff like that. And the shapes are quite interesting. If you want to see what this original object looks like, right? So yeah, let me just fill you in quickly. So as in one of my previous tutorials, I've taught you how to create reference images, and so that's what I did. I created reference images. I was thinking about modeling something, and then I saw this, and this is my kids watering jug. It's a watering jug, and so I took different angles, a photograph of it. You will see I put the paper behind because the first time that I actually shot this video I shot it with a flash. Alright, so wait, first to start off, right, I have taken basically the angles that are absolutely necessary. The top, I shot this side because of the nozzle, and I shot this side because I needed a side view. So front view, side view. Alright, so and then, like I said, the first time I shot it with a flash, and that made the background very dark. I couldn't see these edges. I also, like I've spoken before, I kept my jug within the same place on screen, not screening. If you want to know how to do that on your phone, so I shot this with my iPhone. On every camera, on every phone, you're able to put a grid line in. So I use the grid line as a guide to keep basically to keep the jug in an average place, so that when placing that into Blender, lining it up was not going to be a problem. Okay, once I had shot it, I then began modeling, and there were quite a few challenges for me with this. And believe me, I've been practicing this modeling this, trying a few times to get these curves in here as well as this guy over here, and I succeeded. Alright, so this is going to be a 2-part because, like I said, I don't want to make these tutorials long. I don't want to make it over 45 minutes, and so I'm going to model this guy, and then I'm going to model this guy, and both of them have challenges. guys, follow along with me. I try to get my keystrokes on to appear on screen. It was taking too long for me to figure out. There's an add-on called Screencast something that I was battling with, so I'll definitely have it ready for next week. I'm going to keep talking through the different keys that I press. Alright, until next week. Next week I'll definitely have the key stroke cast, whatever, yeah, ready for you guys. Okay, so without further ado, let us start straight away. I'm just cracking open this project over here. I've aligned the images up. Alright, over there, those are my reference images. Go check out my previous tutorials. Let's begin. I'm going to start off with a circle. I'm going to grab circle. Yeah, by the way, vertices 16. It's over there. I'm going to press G for grab in Z, and I'm going to line that up about in that place. I'm going to scale it up just to get it nice and a bit bigger there. Alright, there you have it. Okay, fantastic. Right, then I'm going to, alright, by the way, I'm in object mode at the moment. Okay, to go into edit mode, I'm going to press tab, and then within edit mode now I'm going to start extruding up. So I'm going to press E for extrude and in the direction of Z, so I press Z. Oh my goodness, it is not in Z. Hang on, let's just change this over here. Let's try that again. Extrusion Z, and I'm going to extrude it up. My first sort of, let's see, my first sort of layer over there. Alright, awesome. Good job so far. I'm going to press Alt Z just so I can see a bit more through this layer. Right, then the next thing that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to extrude this guy over here. So by the way, these are your three different modes over here. Vertices mode, where I can select the vertice, edge mode, where I can select the edges, and face mode, where I can select the faces. I'm going to work within vertices mode. Right, select these guys, press E for extrude, Z in the Z axis, you know, in the Z direction. Yes. Alright, there you go. You can see we've got the basic form. You'll see that I do a lot of extruding. I don't like to fiddle too much. If I have to fiddle too much, then I start messing up. So I keep it try and simple. I try and keep it as simple as possible. Right, so enough with the talking now. I am going to now let's select these guys and let's select these guys. Now it's very important, by the way, I'm holding shift and I'm dragging. Once I've selected, yeah, it's shift and drag. And now what I'm going to do is go to the top view, boom. Alright, now you can already see there's a difference in size here. Okay, no problem. I'm going to press A to select all. Right, and I'm going to press S, and I'm going to scale down. But what I don't want is that when I'm scaling down, that I'm scaling in the Z axis. I just want to scale in, well, let me just show you. Right, so press A to select all. Then I'm going to press S for scale, and then I'm going to press Shift Z. If you had seen one of my previous tutorials, you'll know exactly what I'm doing. What I'm basically doing is I am scaling in, okay, S Shift Z. I'm scaling only in the X and Y direction. If I have to do just S alone, it's going to scale it in the Z as well. Alright, I just want the X and Y axis. Alright, so S and then Shift Z, because what I'm saying is scale but exclude the Z axis. Alright, so I'm going to bring that nicely down like that. Great stuff. Now let's go and select the top half again and shift, holding down shift, select these guys over here. So you'll see all I've selected are not these guys over here, and the reason why that happened was that I was needing to go into almost like a transparency mode. So I can do that by pressing Alt Z. Again, I cover all of this in my previous tutorials. Guys, if you're following along with me, well, good for you. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You're like, Ryan, seriously, we know this. Alright, next, E for extrude, S for scale, and I'm going to again exclude the Z direction. So Shift Z. Okay, there you go. Well, now that's quite nice. Okay, you can see it's not 100% online, even well, in line, not online, in line. Alright, but it's fine, you know, we're gonna sort that out later. Alright, there you go. See, we've got a very basic shape. It's looking really good. Okay, and now the next thing that I would like to do is I would like to get that inner point over there. Now give us a try, right? Alt A to deselect. So A is to select everything, Alt A is to deselect. I'm going to press Alt and I'm going to select this. I just want to see what's going to happen. See there. Now the fact that it selected all around there is brilliant, because that shows that my edge selection is awesome. Now let me show you. I've selected that whole edge. I'm going to hold down Control. I'm on a Mac. I'm going to hold down Control. I'm going to select all of those. That means I've deselected that now, which means I've only got those guys selected. Okay, Control, drag. I need to deselect these guys because I'm going to create that inner lip over there. Right, let's do it from this direction. Alright, E for extrude, Z because in the Z direction, and let's go down. Hang on, Alt Z. There you go. Let's continue. Okay, just by the way, because I pressed Alt Z to get the transparency, it means that I was no longer controlling those vertices over there. You can just press G for grab and then Z, and then you can continue pulling them down. Alright, awesome. So there it is. Alright, we have a very basic structure going on here. Okay, right, let's continue. So I've still got those guys selected over there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create this part over here. Okay, and I can do that again. E for extrude. Wait. Okay, I'm going to undo, so I can undo just because once I pressed E, I already doubled those vertices. Now the big mistake is to press escape and thinking that you've unextruded, and you haven't. You've duplicated that. So I had to Control Z or Command Z on a Mac. And you can see again I've got this right. So the reason why I stopped now, okay, is because I need to, if E extrude is okay, if I extrude now, okay, it could still work. I suppose it could work. All right, what I was going to do was my 3D cursor. I was going to get my 3D cursor to sit in the point where I want to, just to position my extrusion correctly, right? So e.g., I'm going to select that guy. I'm going to press Shift S. Now this is basically to control your cursor. With your Shift S hotkey, you can either move your cursor to the center, or you can move your cursor to a specific object or a specific place, or you can move your object to the cursor, right? So I'm going to say cursor to selection. Right, there you go, my 3D cursors over there. So what that means now, I can go up here and I can say, now this is where you work. So now I'm transforming it around a pivot point. So let's reselect these guys. In fact, it looks to me like I need to bring those guys down again, hey? Okay, G for grab, Z. Hang on, let's do this properly, right? Let's level this with I. In fact, it almost looks like I cancelled what I'd previously done. Okay, there you go. Okay, that looks more like it. Yes, okay. Let's go to the top view. I've still got it selected. E for extrude, S and Shift Z. And here we go. Let's see what happens when I do this. Can you see where they're all heading towards? Yes, towards that point. Right. I'm going to get it about over there. Now here's a new trick I'm about to show you. Okay. I'm going to flatten all of these, but I don't have to move each and every one individually. Right. This is quite a neat trick. I learned it in Maya, and then I came to Blender and I was like, surely they got this thing, this trick in here. Yes, they do. Alright, so I'm going to press S for scale. With them selected, S for scale. I'm then going to say that I want to flatten it in the Z axis. Alright, Z. I lie, in the X axis, and then because red is X, and then I'm going to press 0. It flattens it. Now with them still selected, I'm going to grab it, press G, and there you have it. Pretty neat, eh? Yes. So there it is. Okay. So it's nice and flat. But now, let's quickly check here now. The one trick, the one battle I'm going to have here. Okay, so everything still looks great. Within here, I'm going to press Command S or Control. Command S or Control S, because I'm saving my work as it is. Right, so now the next challenge that we have here is I want to get this guy popping out over here. Okay, and the best way to do that is to extrude them. You're going to extrude it out of here, and you're going to extrude it out of here. But the thing that you've got to think carefully about here is you don't want to, you can extrude it and keep the shape, because what do we know about this shape is that it's got this bulging point out over here, and then you got this you got this curve, and you got this curve happening over here. Same with this side, and it sticks all the way through. Right, let's give it a shot. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to look at here is from the top view. Command Z puts us back into this transparent mode. We're able to now create, keep things, in order here. Alright, so the first thing that I'm going to do is, let's prepare stuff. Oh wait, look at this. This thing is actually way shorter than what I thought. That is simply incredible. Right, let me quickly fix that up. Right. And the only way that I can fix that up, alright, is by deleting these faces. And it's no smash, we just need to do exactly like what I did. So it's actually from that point there, my goodness. Okay, well, it's no problem. Right, Control, you should know how to do this. Okay, from the top again, E for extrude, S for scale, and in the Z direction, here we go. Boom. Okay, it's gonna go to about over there. Okay, that should match that up. Great stuff. And then scale X in the 0, and I'm gonna grab that. And we're gonna put that nicely. Is it? Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to add in some edge loops. Command R. And I'm gonna put one right about over there, because that's going to help us now with that guy over there. And I'm gonna add another edge loop over here, and that's gonna help us with these guys, this level over here. Then the next thing I want to do is I want to do the same thing. I'm just scared that is going to mess up our smooth. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm not going to create an edge loop over there. You see, because once I start adding edge loops within this round circle, although it might work out fine, let's see if we can avoid that, right? So what I need to do is here's a nice neat little trick that I've learned. But I think before we do that, so we don't have to deal with two sides, because these two are symmetric, all right, they look exactly the same. This side looks like this side, all right. I'm going to go into face selection mode by pressing 3 on my keyboard, not on my keypad. And because I've modeled this correctly, all right, I can delete these faces. So in other words, I've only got one off. Right, Ryan, what are you doing to my model? Don't worry, you will see, you will thank me later. Trust me, I'm not a doctor. Okay, so by selecting this guy over here, all right, let's do this one over here. I'm going to double tap G, and what that does is it slides it along its edge instead of moving it, right, which can move it out of order. I'm going to move it along its edge like that. Okay, right, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to double tap this guy as well. No, I think this is going to cause a lot of nonsense. I say we add in an edge loop. Okay, we're going to add in an edge loop. Put that one a bit over there. This is what's concerning me, because if it's too tight, then I'm going to mess it up. So selecting that guy over there, double tap G, just sort of average these out in the middle. Ooh, that is very, very interesting. Oh, that's what's going on. Okay, no problem. I'm sure I have some very professional modelers, if they are watching this, saying, no, Ryan. And I will quote Andrew Kramer, who says, there are many ways to do this. What matters is that you get the effect. Right, there you go. So what I've got is I've got this, which I'm going to extrude part of this, and that's going to get me my basic shape, and I've kept it flowing quite nicely. If you want to just sort of do that so they're not too close to each other, although you can just do that, and yeah, that'll just keep them flowing, not too, because otherwise, you know what happens, you end up getting pinching and weird artifacts with your mesh. All right, now we need to do a similar thing over here, but right, here we go. Okay, now just to note, this camera I did not take a perfect picture right over, so you can see a bit of that edge, but you can't see too much of this side. So it's not going to be very accurate if I leave that right over there. I've got to sort of work out exactly, roughly where that is. So let's say about over there. I'm going to add an edge loop. Okay. The Lord help us, well, help me if these edge loops are going to, I've got a feeling it's going to create some sort of pinching, but you know, we've got a bit of a soft surface over here, so I don't think we'll be too bad. Alright. Okay. Right then, just grab this guy, move a bit closer. Okay, now it is time for the extrusion. Now, face selection, pressing 3, or otherwise you can just hit this button over here. And now we will begin to extrude. Now, it is very important, again, we're going to use our pivot point as an that 3D cursor over there as a, because okay, I'm going to extrude it, and then I'm going to need to extrude it around. So I'm just going to turn this back to bounding box. It usually gets an average of where it is, but now looking at this, just yeah, look, when I first modeled this, I obviously, I'm now recording the tutorial, so I'm getting this done as quickly as possible. But when I'd done that, I was very meticulous and very careful, you know, putting everything in place. So, you know, yeah, you should do the same. So, you know, just make sure that, you know, you push your mesh right down to the edges. So, extrude, E for extrude in the Z direction. I'm going to get it up to about over here. Now I want to extrude again and rotate around here. So you see that 3D cursor over there, I'm going to press N. And if you remember from my previous tutorials, sorry I have to keep quoting my previous, but I've taught these things, and I guess this is how you learn it. So I'm going to take my 3D cursor and what I'm going to do cursor to selection, there it is. This thing is super sensitive, you like just shift it a little bit and you can lose your cursor. So I think I'm going to just use these buttons over here, and I'd say that is about where, okay, so right, and so I'm going to press E for extrude, I'm going to press R for rotation, and I'm going to rotate around, extrude, rotate around the Y, so I'm going to press Y, and I'm going to, okay, there you go. So let's just see exactly what is going on here. Sure, it's just so weird. Alright, so I think what I'm going to try and do is this. I'm going to try, and I just want to check I don't have any doubles there. Okay, so this is what I'm going to try and do. I am going to just, I'm going to try this, right? Because I'm obviously extruding, I'm rotating. Let's say if I say extrude, and then I'm going to press escape. So I've still got those double faces. Then I'm going to press rotation and around the y-axis. Okay, you can see that's a lot more straighter as well. Right, then I'm going to say extrude, rotate, y. Okay, let me try x. That is so weird. Okay, anyway. So yeah, so let's put it right there. And then remember a little trick just to get those faces. You can see how it's a bit at an angle. Okay, so S for scale along the x-axis and 0. Boom. Okay, there they are. Skew. I mean, not skew. Non-skew. Yes, they are non-skew. Okay. Now you can see exactly how we've gotten this nice, you know, the shape that we needed. Looking at our reference image over here, you can see we've got that over there, and we've got that part over there. Alright, we are doing it in half. Don't worry, we're going to mirror this a little later on. You're going to see how well this is going to work out. Our topology is looking good. We've had to just sort of do a bit of fiddling here. Once we add on our subdivision modifier, we're going to see how nicely that's going to turn out. Okay, let's do this side of here. We're going to join them up. We're going to have our handle, and then we're going to just do the last bit of our work for this guy. I promise you it's going to come out extremely satisfying. We're going to be like, awesome. Alright. And then we're going to wrap up the bottom half of this thing a lot later. Okay, here we go. So I've got those faces exactly like we did before. Extrude in Z. Yeah, there it is. Okay, awesome, fantastic. Over there, press N because I'm going to bring the 3D cursor along the x-axis just to, wait, wrong way, try and get that about over there. Okay, awesome. Right, I'm gonna grab it just a little bit up. I think what I want to try and do is get these sort of as close as possible. Okay, here we go. Extrude, I'm going to press escape. Then I'm going to rotate along the y-axis. Okay, now you can see it's looking a bit funny. That's probably because we don't have this axis correctly. Right, I'm going to undo it. Alright, I've still got the double faces. I'm going to try and bring it down to about over here. I think that's the trick. So along the X, holding down shift just to do it finally. There you go. Okay, here we go. Rotate along the y-axis. Okay, then I'm going to extrude, press escape, rotate along the y-axis. Okay, there you go. And then just so I can make sure that those faces are straight, I'm going to have the faces selected. I'm going to press S for scale, A along the x-axis, 0. Okay, enter, and there you go. So now they're straight. Alright, they're not perfectly lined up. So I think to line these things, these items up, right? The first thing that you need to notice here is that we're going to line the top, we're going to line that middle part, and then we've got some other funny things going on over here, and that's where we now need to straighten up and just sort of fix it up. That's actually what it's got to look like. In fact, looks like I just need to get these flat over here. Hey? Alright, so select them, S for scale, in the Z axis 0. Grab Z and let's put it over there. So now all of those are nice together. Okay, let's do the same with these. Scale Z 0. Okay, grab them, move them up here. Let me just show you what I've done. That's all I've basically done. Gotten them nice and straight. Okay, I think I'm going to do the same. I'd like to see the same with these two over here. In fact, I think all of them need to be like that. Right, scale Z 0. The other thing I should try is just change up my pivot point to bounding box. I think that's also going to help. So scale Z 0, and look at that. Why didn't we do that in the beginning? Yeah, no, well, you know, guys, this is how you learn things, right? Scale in the Z axis 0. Okay, let's do the same here. S for scale, Z axis, so press the Z key and press 0. And we'll just keep it the same thing. Scale C0. Okay. And then when I grab these, I'm grabbing all of them at the bottom there. Okay. Now let's try and get them. So grab, G for grab. Just try and get these close as possible. That's not too bad. That's not okay. This one. Grab in Z. You can sort of use these grids as references, right? Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to select these faces, go to this side, other side, and press E for extrude, and I'm going to extrude in the X axis. No. There you go. Move this as much over to here as possible. You can see they don't line up. Like I said, if I were you, when I model this, I'm just moving on as fast as I can, just so that I'm not boring you guys. So please just you know, obviously try and get it as close as possible. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I need to join this bridge over here. And the way to do that is to select all these vertices. Wait, first of all, can I just delete these faces in here? You can do it now, you can do it later. So select each face, holding down shift to select the next one, pressing X, saying faces only. I'm going back into vertices selection. I'm first selecting this one, Then this one, I'm pressing M to merge, and I'm saying merge at the first selection. Alright, so that's why I'm selecting that one first, because I don't want it to merge down, I want it to merge roughly, you know, in yeah, roughly in that sort of area. So in other words, roughly in, so that it's connecting from there to there instead of that down. Because if I say merge at first, then that means I'm going to you know, so I select that one first, then that one, M for merge at first, because I'm merging it up there. Okay, select that one. Of course, you want to be careful when you're in transparent mode like this, because what some of these vertices, what might appear to be the one that you're looking for, might be another one at the back. So just check that out. I think I selected that one first. Yes, there you go. Okay, I'm very excited. I can't wait to put a subdivision modifier on this thing, and then of course just add in some edge loops so that we can strengthen the its bolt. Okay, so there it is. Something weird is going on here that I haven't taken into consideration. Okay, there you go. My bad, I still had that vertex over there selected. Merge it first, select that one, merge at first. Okay, there it is. Alright, and then something, so go into object mode, press S for save. Now, obviously I've got this because this is my son's toy, but you can see on the inner top, it's actually hollow here. So back into edit mode, and I'm going to delete these faces here. Okay, X and faces, and there you go, it's hollow. And then because it's a mirror, I'm going to press C to circular select, and I'm going to select all of these guys on this side as well because it's got a mirror. Just press escape so that I can rotate here. C again, and drag and select all of these. Okay, escape to go out of circle mode. X faces. Okay, this all makes sense once I do the mirror modifier. Okay, cool. So there you go. Congratulations. Look at your marvelous creation, right? Okay, the true what do you call this? We're really gonna know what this is like once we had our subsurface modifier. So I'm going to this modifiers, into my modifiers here. I'm going to first add the mirror, then the subsurface modifier. Okay, it's not doing what we wanted to do, and that's because you need to mirror it in the Y axis. So from this side to this side. So you're gonna, oh yes, wait, before I even do that, I need to make sure, yes it is. So the minute I click Y here, and there you go. Quite nice, eh? There you go, and I've mirrored it, done half the work. Quite awesome. You do have this over here, no worries about that. It's important to press clipping, because what this tick box over here does is that where it's joined over here, once I actually it clips these vertices together, so that there's no holes. Alright, the reason why these are broken, this one over here is broken apart, is because it's a bit too far. So I've learned a trick to fix this, and that is by my merge option here. I'm going to hold down shift, I'm just going to crank it up slightly until I get those two merging. Let's see if it's going to work. So there it is, congratulations. Alright, now the next thing I'm going to do, you can see it's 100% mirror. I'm just going to check there's no more gaps anywhere. Alright, I'm going to get rid of my reference images, they seem to be just getting in my way. So now the thing to do is, now we're going to add on, before we even do that, I'm going to apply this mirror option. I'm happy. So I click there. Alright, it's important that you do it in object mode obviously. So there you go. Now when I go into edit mode, there you can actually see it's as if you've doubled it. Right. So back into object mode, Control or Command S to save, because now we're going to add on our Subsurface Modifier. And it's going to get a bit weird, but I'm going to show you how to strengthen your mesh. Alright. In actual fact, my goodness, would you believe that? Okay, I'm going to crank up this levels here. I took mine to 4. And there you go. Last thing that we're going to do right now is we're going to give it a bit of a thickness. One thing that I would change though is that when I first created this, the circle, it was a 16, what do you call it when you add over here, circles, these vertices here. Yeah, I'd probably keep it at about 21 or 22. I think I had a 21, and basically what that is that it's the amount of vertices here. I think my biggest issue that I have here is that I had 2 little vertices to play around with, and that's why my model is a lot harder. It's not looking as perfect as I had it the first time. So, well, you know what, if you want to give it a shot. But I mean, you can see basically how I've extruded the shape out of some fancy extrusions. And so anyway, next week we're gonna model the bottom half, and of course, oh yes, I need to add in a solidifier because this is looking a bit thin, and I don't want to sit and extrude. So something simple I can do is I can add on a subsurface modifier, and that's when I can take something as thin as this, just a single-faced mesh, and if I adjust this thickness here, you can see it just gives it a slight thickness. And of course there you can see what your solidifier does. You can see how many vertices it adds, but hey, you know what, actually I don't usually apply it, I just add it on, because if I have so many vertices it's going to make my mesh like really heavy. I mean, you saw how many vertices I had. That creates your project, it makes it very heavy. So let's just remove it. I'm adding it in again. Okay, do my thickness again, and I'm not going to apply it. So I mean, look how nice, and you can see how nice the thickness looks. Okay, so let me open up my previous project, the one that I first did that I was happy with. And while we're having a look at this, guys, subscribe to Active TV, because guess what? When you subscribe and you hit the bell button, you get notifications. And whenever I release new tutorials, then you'll get notified for that. And guess what? It's not just tutorials. We have Keeping Up with the Relatives, we have the Situation Room that gets released every day at 3 o'clock. And yes, Saturdays and Sundays. And then plus, yeah, if every time I release a new tutorial, you're gonna know about it. So yeah, here's my original shape, and you can see what an improvement. You can check the cuts I had here. That looks similar, and you can actually see along here how I, because I took my time when I was modeling this. I mean, you can even see on these edges here, looking at this angle with the right image, I picked up that it's actually bulging out at the bottom there, the curves. I was able to take my time when I was modeling this, really just be meticulous with the details. I mean, look how nice that edge looks right there. So alright, so with that said and done, we're going to do this guy next week, this bottom half. So guys, until next week. So the lesson to learn here, right, is to make sure that you don't have too little vertices on your circles. And yeah, I suppose if I didn't fiddle too much with this, then it would have worked out a lot better. So yeah, with that said and done, see you guys next week. Cheers.